Austin, I guess getting set to face Iowa tomorrow. It's been quite some time since you guys have been in game action with the winter break and the COVID protocol break as well. But just, I guess, what's the excitement level like finally getting back to playing games again against Iowa?
Yeah, like you said, we've been off from games for about 2 weeks here, so I think guys are kind of nipping at the heels here to get back into some game action. We've had a couple of practices here, but for the most part, it's going to be some intense games coming up. I think we got Iowa and Texas and some very important conference games. I think Iowa's right behind us in the standings, so these are going to be some big games for us to start off the second half.
How nice was the break too, just to sort of heal up some bumps and bruises, right? I mean, we were talking before just how compressed the first little bit of the schedule was for you guys, but how good was the time off? Just to sort of, I guess, take your mind off hockey a little bit and just get the bumps and bruises healed up.
Yeah, Christmas break's always a great time to get home and kind of let your mind and body kind of recover from a pretty hectic first half of the season. I think a lot of guys are pretty banged up throughout the first half, so it's nice to get a couple extra days off with that, and also just to kind of refresh and reset with friends and family, kind of just to get your mind off everything. It's really important for everybody to have that time. So I think it's great for our team, and we're looking forward to getting the second half going here.
And then the power play too. I mean, there's just so many, moving pieces there with players going up and down from the taxi squad and injuries as well and COVID as well. But just, I guess, the success in the power play, do you just attribute it to the chemistry you guys have been able to generate here in the first little bit of the season? Just what do you attribute the success in the power play to?
Yeah, for sure. I think with the taxi squad and all with COVID going on, we got the next man up mentality. Different guys are stepping up and playing huge roles on the power play. Like Burgie there, he's had a couple good goals and a couple good assists on the power play for us. And there's different guys that have stepped up like that have been huge for our power play. But you give a lot of success to our coach Marty. He's got us on the right system, and I think it's working for us. So if we just keep doing the right things in practice, hopefully they'll show up in the games.
We'll throw it over to Jacob Stoller.
Hey, Austin, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. I just wanted to ask you a bit, like last year, obviously you spent some time on the taxi squad, elsewhere and whatnot, but I just want to know how much it kind of changes the complexion of things as a player, in the AHL when there's that taxi squad component.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think last year was the first year they've done that in for what I can remember, maybe ever. So it's different for those guys. They're not playing as many games as different guys would be playing in the NHL or the AHL. They're kind of staying fresh and ready to be called upon, whether there's injuries or COVID. But yeah, it's a different dynamic. It's definitely an opportunity for those guys that are on the taxi squad to be that next man up. But it's also important for guys that are in the AHL to get called up to the AHL to take their opportunity and run with that. So it's a bittersweet for a lot of guys. I think it opens up opportunities for some, and it gives others a different opportunity that they might not have had at different teams.
For sure. And, for yourself now, obviously you're on a two-way contract, and the possibility of you being, the next guy to be taking on the taxi squad is very real at any moment. Does that provide or provoke any anxiety, or is that something where it just, another facet of the game for you?
Yeah, I think in today's world, you kind of just take it day by day with COVID and with everything going on. So you can just control what you can control. You practice as hard as you can every day and be ready for that opportunity. And if it comes, it comes. If not, just keep working hard, and hopefully we get some wins here with the Moose.
Another guy that was on the taxi squad last year was Luke Johnson, someone that you played with a lot at UND. During the offseason, did you guys talk at all a bit about the possibility of playing together, and did that come about at all, or was that kind of organic in itself?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty organic. We definitely keep in contact in the summer skating in Minnesota. We had a couple of skates and workouts together, so we definitely knew what was going on with each other's hockey life. So yeah, that's important. And he's a great guy. So like I said, we stay in contact, and we played really well together in college, and hopefully we can keep that going here if we were to play together again on the Moose here. But yeah, for the most part, it kind of just happened that we were both signed here. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun to have him here again.
Just obviously, it's someone that knows him in that way. I mean, what was it like? It must have been tough to see him go down so, with an injury so early on. From your perspective, like, was that, were you keeping in touch with him a lot, or staying in contact? Was keeping good spirits, or was there not too much there?
Yeah, no, there was definitely a lot there. He was in the rink quite a bit, rehabbing, and yeah, I mean, you never want to see an injury happen to anybody, especially somebody that you know really well like that you've known for a little bit longer than you have with some other guys here on the Moose. But you hate to see injuries like that keep guys out for more than a couple months. But yeah, I think he's been in good spirits. I think it's for guys that do get injured, it's important for guys like myself and others to kind of stick with them and talk with them, and because I'm sure they're lonely and they're not having the best of times. So it's just the little things as a team that we can help those guys that are maybe struggling or injured that aren't with the team every day. But yeah, for the most part, I think he's really excited to be back. He's skating out here. He's looking great. So we're excited to have him back.
you started the year playing with him, and I believe it was Perfetti between you two, and obviously, as we mentioned, you played with him in college. What is it from your lens that makes Luke such a impactful offensive player at any level? Just what stands out about his game?
Yeah, he possesses the puck really well. He's a big body, protects the puck immensely. He's got one heck of a shot too. If you get him in the right spot on the ice, he's going to score most of the time. So I think his ability to use his body for his advantage, whether it's shielding the puck and getting to those dirty areas, and then when he lets a shot go, it's a good chance of going in. So I think that's kind of what makes him elite for him.
For sure. And just two more for me. For yourself, like, I mean, it must be, I know you said like it's, it's kind of happened organically with Luke, but, Hayden Shaw's in the organization. There's a lot of guys either that played for UND or from the area and stuff. Like, was that a big factor, or being close to home in signing with Manitoba, or it was kind of more of an opportunity type thing?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. I think the opportunity was definitely a little bit bigger here than I saw with other teams. So that's always important as your goal in your hockey career is to play in the NHL and to get as many games there and help that team succeed. But at the end of the day, it is close to, I'm from St. Cloud, Minnesota, so it's not too far from there. So that's nice. It's I've been down in Texas with the St. Louis AHL for the last couple of years, and that's about 20 hours away. So it's just nice being a little bit closer to home for Christmas, for family and friends to be able to come up. It just is nice, and being able to play in Grand Forks for a couple of years too. It was really close to here, so it kind of seemed like home to me. So it just felt like a good fit for me when I was going through that process.
For sure, yeah. And last one, kind of what you're saying there about how when you were at the Blues organization, their affiliate was a bit farther there as well. From a taxi squad perspective, you have both teams, the Jets and the Moose, in Winnipeg. Does that play a big factor when you're looking to sign, or even now the taxi squad evaluating your options? The fact that you have both teams in the same city, it must take a lot of the edge off. No.
Yeah, there's different ways to look at that for sure. It is very convenient that both teams are out of the same building, or rather. So for that aspect, they're able to call guys up and send guys down quite frequently if they need to, which is a good thing and a bad thing in some cases. But for the most part, yeah, it was a big factor, because I just heard from different players that have been in with the Jets organization how well they treat their players, and whether it's because they're both in the same in the same city, or whether it's just a great organization. It's up to whoever wants to make that decision. I think it's a great organization. We get treated great. It's a huge step from what I'm used to. So I'm very grateful for making my decision to come play here.